It's really nice to see so many people today, especially with the heat. But today we'll have quite a relatively unstructured Vipassana meditation. Because of the heat, it's easier to take a relaxed global view of the body. So we can rest in awareness of the body in general. And inevitably, when it's this hot, we'll all have sensations jump out at us, and then we can start our investigations at the point that draws our attention to it. So for me, I can feel that behind my knees are quite clammy, and that's where my attention's being drawn. So then I try and find where the edge of that sensation is, and where does it start feeling nicer, cooler? Where is the transition from discomfort to comfort? And it's okay for us to notice things around the body, and if we're being drawn to a new sensation, we can follow that sensation. If our feet feel particularly hot, we can move our attention to there and start investigating. And then if we feel that our head is maybe sweaty or itchy or clammy or hot, or maybe we can feel the fan on our head, we can then investigate where the edge of that sensation is. As these sensations are coming up, we can acknowledge them. We can stay with them, and just that acknowledgement of that sensation lead to that sensation going, and a new one arises. This can teach us a lot of things. We can notice an itchy sensation come and go whether we scratch it or not. We notice that all these sensations come and go whether we scratch that itch or rub our head. And we notice that as we let these sensations come up, we allow ourselves to feel these sensations. We don't try and block them out. We don't try and be tough and push through them. We can just sit with this. We note a sensation comes, it stays for a while, and it goes. And by acknowledging these sensations and not reacting, the sensations don't seem as important for us to react to, and the mind calms. What we'll notice that as the mind calms, we can move our focus around the body, and we can look for pleasant sensations. There may be one part of the body that's perfectly relaxed. It might be the perfect temperature. And by focusing on that sensation, the sensations that we thought were uncomfortable fade away. Often when it's hot we can have contradictory sets of information. We can be uncomfortable, restless, agitated. We can be bored, but while there's all of this making us want to stop, there's also a pleasant sensation. And we can sit simultaneously with a really enjoyable sensation. It might be the breeze on our forehead, it might be our breath. It feels particularly enjoyable, but at the same time our mind is telling us to get up because it's boring. Often in the heat we can have these strange combinations, and it's often more likely that we have these strange combinations, and we can just sit with that contradiction. It might be that we can feel the air that the fan is moving. It might be that we can only hear it. It all adds into our awareness of where we are in space and time. We can find the heat brings up emotions, memories. When we can sit with that, we can acknowledge it, but we do that in the present moment. We can acknowledge these memories, but without feeding them. We don't need to indulge in these memories. We don't need to solve these problems, but equally we don't push them away. We can say to ourselves, oh, this memory's come up again, or oh, this memory's come up for the first time. I didn't know that. Equally, our mind can seem dull, or it can seem scattered, like we can't focus, but there's a restlessness, and the heat helps to bring all of these out. But by noticing the sensations of the body, if tensions arise along with a thought or a memory, we can see that link. If it made us angry, we may feel tension in our back. And what we can do is we can acknowledge it, we can let it stay, but we don't push it away, but we don't bring it further in. We can just see it arise, stay for a while, pass away. We can sit in this relaxed global view, and we can notice all sorts of things we can focus in on particular sensations, especially if they're quite strong. We can sit with them, but equally if all of that passes, we can just enjoy sitting in peace and quiet. And it might be that the heat is making us drowsy, so we can just focus a bit more on a larger in-breath, just to keep that focus. It's important not to judge ourselves too harshly. A few minutes ago I scratched my head, and I first realised I was doing it when I felt my head being scratched. I didn't choose to do it, but my hand did it without my permission almost, and rather than pretending it didn't happen or feeling bad that we've lapsed concentration, we can note exactly when our mind has gone to another thing, and then bring it back and start again. There's no points, there's no scoreboard, there's nothing to win. We may find that we switch between agitation and sleepiness. We may be really enjoying ourselves one moment and next bored or frustrated. The heat often can make it feel like time is slowing down. So we can have many emotions in half an hour. If we can sit with a global view of the framework of the body, we can pick out the bits that are enjoyable to focus on. We might have spontaneous extreme emotions. But if we can sit with that and observe those emotions without becoming those emotions. If we can do that in meditation, we can practice that quality, and we will inevitably put that into practice in everyday life. And sit in environments where it's not a temperature that we're we're comfortable with, or a temperature we're used to, can really help our equanimity, our ability to be even, our ability to see things as they are, without getting carried away into liking or disliking. And the more we sit, the more we realise these are impersonal phenomena,